right, topic number 2. Lauren, so I saw an article that was saying that WWE is looking into doing a lot more of the sponsored segments with like, you know, they did the Pitch Black with Mountain Dew. They did the NASCAR kind of crossover. My question to you was, do you think that these sponsored matches and sponsored segments hurt or help professional wrestling?
So short answer, hurt. My reason why is because it feels ungenuine, right? Like it takes away the whole experience of wrestling. Like you and I both know it's not, I mean, it is real. Like they're really performing stuff, but like there's a story and it's already been predetermined who wins and stuff like that. We don't know it. They know it, but it takes me out of that element and out of that world. And it just feels like cringy,
so,
you know?
Yes. So my answer is no, I don't think it hurts professional wrestling. I think right now the way they're doing it hurts professional wrestling. I don't think that you can just take Mountain Dew and insert it into your main storyline and that
put
works.
it in the fucking middle of the ring. Like,
so that's exactly right. That's where I'm
cringy.
Going. It's okay. Why couldn't Mountain Dew just sponsor the entire event?
I agreed.
And I get the idea of going to the pitch, but the Pitch Black match was hokey. It was cool. To me, the Pitch Black match really works with someone like Liv Morgan.
Ooh, that would have been so cool.
Who's not involved in a heavy storyline, but tends to wear some cool colors and could do. It felt like to me a Pitch Black match would have looked really cool with Liv Morgan and somebody else.
Asuka, perfect.
And
she had like neon
and do neons and do all those things. So I don't think that the actual act of just having featured like sponsored segments is a problem. I think it's where you choose to place those segments. I think placing it in Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio automatically makes that feel extremely fucking goofy, that they're fighting at a NASCAR event.
Yeah.
And like racing each other in cars. We're supposed to, like, the whole build for this story is supposed to be the like disrespect of Dominic Mysterio towards Rey Mysterio. And then we start to get this weird hokey NASCAR where they're like teaming up with NASCAR drivers. And I understand the crossover appeal to Fox and to everybody, but I think there's a little bit of that plays with the intelligence of like professional wrestling audiences that I don't necessarily love that.
I guess when you put it like that, because I guess there's the flow match every week, right? And that doesn't bother me. Or the flow, what is it? The flow report,
the recap or whatever. Yeah.
It doesn't even like click to me like, oh, this is a sponsorship. I just know that that's what's going to happen. But the Mountain Dew being in the middle of the ring, the whole Rey Mysterio thing at the NASCAR, that I agree. It was cringy, didn't like it. And so if they do go about it in a different way, where you don't really like feel like it's just like, hey, here it is.
Yeah, no. Like there's an ability.
Then I don't think it affects
like,
it
let's
when
just
you put it that way.
Let's say they just titled the whole Royal Rumble the Mountain Dew Pitch Black Royal Rumble, right? Which would have been cool. It would have been cool to do the entire women's Royal Rumble under those neon lights. We commented when we were there. Everybody for some reason had on like the most neon outfits in the world, like they were expecting to be under the black light for some reason. It would have made sense to theme the entire Royal Rumble match that doesn't have story elements, the Mountain Dew Pitch Black Royal Rumble, and do it under neon lights would have been pretty cool. Or like every 5 minutes the lights go off and it goes, something like that works. Or and it's intriguing.
When the new person came in, doom,
the lights go off.
It's a black light.
That's cool too. That's a good idea. I just don't think when you take somebody who you've spent since like fucking November of last year, we've spent building up this mystique around Bray Wyatt, right? He's this mystical Uncle Howdy. We have all this shit. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, this guy who's been real creepy and stuff, he's doing a match for Mountain Dew. And during this match, we're going to have like neon kendo sticks. We're going to have Orbeez that come out from underneath the announce. Why was there like 7,000 neon green Orbeez under the announce table?
I have no idea.
Like just with no, we're just like these kind of things. Like I get the visual was extremely cool in that match, especially being there. I will say being there in person, it was a neat gimmick, but it didn't make sense at that point in time for that match. It did nothing. LA Knight did such a good job building towards that match and keeping his credibility. And then all of a sudden he's part of a Mountain Dew. There was just no explanation. Like, and there wasn't even an attempt to explain to like the fans of why Mountain Dew Pitch Black was a part of the match.
Yeah.
It was just, we're doing this. Here's a shameless plug for Mountain Dew.
But let's also talk about the fact that like we cannot fucking find Mountain Dew Pitch Black anywhere.
And yeah, in our city, I don't even know. Like great promotion. You had the Royal Rumble in San Antonio, Texas. You had the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match in San Antonio, Texas.
Why wouldn't you have given away free Mountain Dew?
It feels like it should
Pitch
be
Black there.
Well, that's true too. But it feels like it should be in every store in the city where you had the match. But you literally almost can't find it here.
No,
it doesn't make sense. We've tried to find it for our daughters who wanted to try it, but what? Yeah, I mean, so it can work though. Like it can. You can integrate like product placement and things like that into wrestling. I think they need to be used comically in places where comedy makes sense. I know Dominic Mysterio is kind of leaning in the comedy elements of wrestling right now, but I don't think that the story between him and Rey Mysterio should become a joke because I just don't think that's going to work. Mm-hmm. Whereas like you could have taken somebody who's not like, it seems to me like Braun Strowman and Ricochet would be great for like a NASCAR segment, right? Because or even Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, right? Guys who have enough credibility and it doesn't really affect the story that they're involved in. Whereas like you don't see Gunther doing like the McDonald's snack break.
No.
Right? Because Gunther's whole kind of shtick is that like this is all about wrestling and I'm not about the stupid gimmicks surrounding wrestling. Mm-hmm. And so you do like Seth Rollins even feels like he could pull off product placement or the Alpha Academy seem
literally the people who they have in the commercials.
And so you do the weird cutaway on NASCAR to that thing and Rey Mysterio and it just to me like it diminishes a little bit of what you're trying to do moving forward as far as like telling that story heading into WrestleMania. I just think it scares me a little bit because I think it's okay. I don't have a problem. I'm like you, stamp a logo in the middle of the ring. Now, I mean, let's go back though. This isn't the first time they've teased this kind of shit. Do you remember when Austin Theory came out and he just had fucking Beyblades behind him?
Yes, that was crazy.
With no explanation once again, right? It's not like his character was wearing Beyblade's attire. It's not like he had addressed Beyblades in some kind of form or fashion. It was just like, it feels to me like WWE is experimenting, and I get with revenue systems, but like let's integrate these things into wrestling and make them make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have had like a Beyblades match in the middle of the ring. What if they had some giant Beyblades?
That would have been hilarious.
That kind of thing works, but you just to like stamp things in weird places. I'm okay. Backstage segments, have a Mountain Dew poster behind people, right? Have them drinking Pepsi or whatever the product is that you're trying to promote. But I don't like the idea of theming an entire match around a weird gimmick like that, unless the person who's in that match is almost aware of what's like. It would have been cool. I'm telling you.
So remember when they had the pub match or whatever? Mm-hmm. You could have had it sponsored by a beer company.
Right. Guinness. This is the Guinness Donnybrook match or whatever.
Exactly. That's the first thing that fucking popped in my head.
Nailed it. That's exactly right. That's where product placement makes sense. And even like putting Liv Morgan into the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match and her knowing like, I'm doing this because I want to do something that's never been done before and it's going to be really cool. Mm-hmm. Here's what to expect. That would have been super cool.
Or like Liv Morgan, one time she said that her tongue was blue because she had like a blue lollipop. You could have her be the blue raspberry blow pop girl.
Whatever. Yeah. But I'm agreed 100%. Yep. That is the best way.
We should be the marketing director.
Probably. But if they continue to do this thing where they interject it, especially like, I don't understand. You took the two supernatural groups. You know, the Judgment Day, they're not really supernatural anymore, but they have a little bit of like a biker mystique, like, and you're just, once again, you're turning them into more and more and more of like goofballs hanging out at the NASCAR track. That type of shit doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.